Hello everybody and welcome back to the Committed series here at Stay Plugged In. I've got a Coca-Cola All-Star with me currently. We're talking to Mell0. Mell0 just recently committed to the University of Mary, Washington, and is excited to kind of share his experiences here. Thank you so much for taking your time to talk with me.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me too. It's an honor.
Dude, it's been quite the journey, right? From, starting in Stay Plugged In. You even just showed me a picture of you back in the day. Super young, getting your start in video games with CSGO however long ago. So it's been quite the journey for you.
It's definitely been quite the journey. I started video games in general. Everybody started with Minecraft, who's my age, right? Picked up Minecraft probably in like the second grade. I have not looked back since then. Started playing CS in middle school. That was my first FPS experience, and Valorant came out and kind of changed the game for me.
Of course, yeah. Valorant's a huge deal. That kind of switches nuts. So now you started in CS:GO. You get into high school. When was it that you first discovered that collegiate esports was actually a thing that you could pursue?
So I think it was my sophomore year. Yeah, we had a pretty good high school team back then, and we had a Stay Plugged In, like, what is it called? A representative, Stay Plugged In representative, who would come to our school and like talk to us over Discord, and he just talked to our whole team about like Stay Plugged In general, and that's how I found out about it. I played in a few tournaments, got started from there pretty much.
Nice, and it's been very smooth sailing ever since, or at least it feels that way. From watching you, because you've had quite the season from Spin's Top 24, and then when it comes to last December, your biggest title of all, you became a Stay Plugged In Coca-Cola All-Star. You got named to that team, which means you're the top, one of the top 24 high school seniors and juniors in all of America here, all United States. So how does it feel, number one? And number two, is that something that you anticipated earning over the course of your high school career?
So, honestly, I'll tell the story again. I'm pretty sure I've told it before, but I was sitting in a classroom and I got the email saying that I got into All-Stars. And honestly, it was shocking to me, because answering your second question, a few years ago, it wasn't a thing, right? So I couldn't even foresee myself becoming a top 24 player in high school. And it was honestly an amazing experience. And the whole thing was just super refreshing, I feel like, because the competition was just so difficult. It was not something I've ever seen before. So yeah, it was definitely amazing.
Would you say that the formats and all the talented players that were there for All-Star Weekend, would you say it kind of improved your gameplay? Would you say it gave you like a higher sense of the game overall?
Oh yeah, 100%. Introduced me to like something I've never seen before, probably, because there's just such a concentrated amount of good players that I don't think I've seen ever in ranked or even tournaments, because rarely you'd see such qualified players in small tournaments. So I feel like it's just completely revolutionized the way I saw the game.
Do you think, so All-Stars definitely changed your perception? That's super cool. Number two, you're about to go play collegiate Valorant, which is obviously a little bit even stronger competition along the way. So besides All-Stars, is there anything else that Stay Plugged In kind of helped you prepare you for that journey into the collegiate scene?
I think just being around and knowing and being part of the very, very high competition, I think definitely prepared me more than anything else, because the only probably comparison I could draw to collegiate sports would be the All-Star game, because I assume that's a similar level, because everybody's going to be better in college. So I feel like it really did prepare me for that, for the college scene in the next few steps,
Too awesome. All-Stars also came with a bit of a care package. So you actually showed me your banner that you got. If you want to show everybody here on stream as well, what you're able to earn here.
Let's see it.
There it is. Yes, sir.
There it is, my banner right there. And then my mini fridge down here.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, let me flip the camera back around. And then the hat that I'm wearing too, this came in the package. It was honestly amazing. I came home after like a long lift and a long day of school. So it was honestly amazing. I came home after like a long day of school and a long lift.
That's awesome, man. Was anybody around, family, friends, anybody like a support system to see you open it or be able to kind of look after it afterwards?
Yeah, both my parents were there, and I'm pretty sure my sister came in at some point. She didn't know what was happening. She was just like, she was just there. She was like, whoa, like, because the box was huge. The box was just standing in the middle of my room, and it was absolutely massive. And I opened it. It was honest, a lot of smiles. I will say, a lot of smiles.
That's incredible, man. Well, let's talk about your journey in recruiting. We got to mention, a little bit of the pre-Valorant scene with you as a little one, and also the Coke All-Stars. But there's a lot of gaps in between, right? As far as like your journey there, first talking to schools, like getting into the process, and working with Swab as well, who's really good about connecting you with the right people. So talk a little bit about that journey, some things that you experienced, some things that you learned along the way too.
So Suave reached out to me, obviously, and he was probably the biggest help I could have asked for. He connected me to every single school I know, and just stay plugged in general. I had schools reaching out to me through the website, and a lot of coaches I got to connect through that. And then just over the course of the last, I think almost a year and a half now, I've been either scrimming, practicing, playing with schools, and obviously I ended up choosing Mary Washington because I know them the best, and it's just an amazing experience overall. So just through Stay Plugged In, I got to meet a lot of really cool people, a lot of really cool schools and coaches, but yeah.
Amazing. And I was just about to ask you why you chose Mary Washington, so you read my mind too. Apparently that's what they like about you and why you're so strong at the game. It makes a whole lot of sense. So now that we do know that, what are you most excited for when you're going to the university, when you get there? What are you most excited for there?
I'm excited to meet a lot of the people that I've talked to for the last, again, year and a half, year.
Yeah.
A lot of the people. I met a few of them when I went to get a visit, but not the whole team, obviously, because not everybody can come out. I'm excited to get those practices in, finally play on LAN, basically. That just in-person experience and that in-person competitive experience, and just playing on a higher level. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
Oh yeah, and then being able to dab somebody up as well when you make a big play.
Exactly. Get the fist bumps, sitting in the middle, getting 2 fist bumps.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, let's go. So let's talk about some of the younger classmen, or some of the younger players rather, that are coming up and maybe want to follow in your footsteps, become an all-star, get recruited to a college. What would be your biggest piece of advice for those students looking for an all-star title and looking to play collegiately?
I think just use your resources and keep playing the video game, because the most important, if you ask anybody who's higher ranked, they'll say just keep playing, because that's all the experience you can get, really. And then really try to spread your web of connections, because I feel like because of Stay Plugged In especially, I got to meet, again, a lot of really people that I probably would not have ever met before, and just participating in big events like Carry to College, a lot of people reached out to me after that. So just keep going and write a good application, because it matters a lot. I saw the application and it looks like a lot, but trust me, you're gonna want to write it, because being an all-star is pretty cool. I mean, I can't complain. So yeah, those would be my best words. Just keep going.
Definitely. It's just only a little bit of work, and it definitely goes a long way. So I love the fact that you learned that, and it's perfect piece of advice. Absolutely. What goals do you have going into your first semester of college, both from an academic standpoint and as an esports standpoint as well?
So I think academically, just making sure my grades are high. Obviously, that's always a priority in any grade that you're in. So that's also a piece of advice. Keep your grades high. Never hurts. And then playing as the best I can and representing my college. That would probably be my biggest goal, because I wouldn't want to be up there and just choke, Obviously, nobody wants to do that. Just playing at the highest level and making sure that I'm on point and representing my college in a good way.
Get that consistency. That's awesome. Also, speaking along the lines of advice giving here, what advice would you tell some of the players that maybe struggling to kind of have a conversation, spark a conversation with, whether it be their parents or guardians or any of their friends and families that maybe don't support them, or perhaps, just a conversation to get them even more on board than they currently are?
I think, so for me, what I learned was that, telling my parents that it's a big thing now, because obviously that they grew up in a place where it wasn't at all accepted, and it wasn't even a thing for a lot of them. So understanding, or helping them understand that a lot of colleges are moving towards that, and it's a really big deal now. If they're worried about the financial aspect, there's a lot of money behind it now. Obviously, it's a really, really big deal, and just every single college has a team now. What I tell my parents is that, because since they're obviously they're a lot older, so they don't understand. So I have to tell them, even Ivies, because they think that's really cool, right? Even Ivies have esports team now, because it's such a big deal that. And I think it's just a big deal now. It should be treated like every other extracurricular in sport.
It's a solid point that I'm gonna start using when I talk to parents. And also, you're talking about me because I didn't have that when I was that age too. So I'm kind of along that same age line. But but that's awesome, dude. I love that support. That was actually the last question I had for you specifically. But I do have one more thing for you. Any shout outs you want to give that helped you along the way through the recruiting process, or maybe if you just want to say hello to anybody that's watching this Stay Plugged In socials.
I want to obviously shout out my parents because they were a really big support to me. I wanted to shout out my all-star team because great group of guys. You know, we had a lot of fun. Even if we didn't do as well as we hoped to, we had a lot of fun. It was honestly an amazing time just meeting them. And obviously, shout out University of Mary Washington. So, yeah, that's shout outs I want to give.
Mell0, congratulations on your commitment, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you.